Okay guys, so I just had somebody bring me in this little tin of action figures and stuff, and there's all kinds of stuff in here. There's this really cool little, he's G.I. Joe. I can't remember his name. If you know, type it down below. I had that. Is this Night Shadow, G.I. Joe? Here's somebody's legs. Almost looks like Cobra Commander's legs, but the rest of them ain't in here. I've got this, one of the three kings from Orient Far or Orient R. I don't remember. I've got this little guy here. It looks like John Wayne. He's kind of cool. Then I've got this cool little Ewok, which is going to go out there with my Ewok playset. And then I've got another Star Wars figure. I'm not really sure about his name. If you know, again, type it down below. Here is a Clark Kent or Superman. Here is a really cool penguin. I'll have to have him. He'll get cleaned up and probably go in a lot on eBay. Here is a Princess Leia. This is her Hoth figure. Made in Hong Kong, 1980. Here is the original Captain America. He's in really bad shape though, but he might clean up. You never know. And this is Greedo. He is from Taiwan, and he was made in 1983. This looks a lot like old Fidel Castro. Oh, Fidel. And then here is another Hoth figure from I can't remember what his commander or something like that. I don't remember his name. If you know, type it down below. But I got all of these figures. I paid the guy $10. He was wanting, when I said 10, he was trying to get 15 out of me, and I thought 10 was a pretty high mark for him, because most of these, you know, the Star Wars figures, you can probably get on a good day, you're probably going to get about $3-4 a piece out of them. If I lot them together, I might be able to get 15-20 out of them, and the rest of these figures really aren't that good. But I kind of wanted the original Star Wars figures. I really like those. I just wanted an Ewok so that I could put him with my Ewok playset out here. Hopefully the Christmas music out front isn't too loud and you can hear everything that I'm saying. This is the Ewok Village that I was telling you guys about. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but is absolutely complete. The only thing that I thought that it was missing was possibly just a little Ewok standing somewhere. And now it's even more complete. I love the little Ewok standing there in the Ewok Village, so that's really cool. Okay, guys, I'm in the back room here at the store, and I'm sorting through some of this jewelry that I have. I picked it up, probably at an auction or something. I've had it for a while, and this says One's Earrings. And what I've been finding is a lot of these earrings are singles, and what I'm doing is I'm going through and making sure there's nothing that is interesting, and what I do is I put it in this jar, and when I get the whole jar full, I'll sell it on eBay. Obviously not the jar, but people use this stuff. If you can find old jewelry, people make all kinds of neat little crafty items out of it. If you don't know Anita Finita, you should check her out. I'll post a link to her channel down below, and I'll put a little pop-up somewhere in the screen here so that you can see what her channel looks like. And I definitely suggest that you go over and you follow her. She does a lot of really neat jewelry, unjarring, unboxing, and haul videos. But she made a really cool Christmas tree out of vintage jewelry like this that had no other purpose but to be repurposed into something really cool. So go check her out. She's definitely worth watching. I've been taking pictures of stuff today for eBay, and I came across this little item here, and I have no idea what this is. If you have any idea what this thing would be, let me know right in the comment section down below. It's got these little bars here, 2, 4, 5, that little piece. And this is some little wrench that apparently, you can take this head off here. So if you know what this thing is, let me know down below. I'm going to get pictures of it, and I'm going to list it on eBay. So your help is greatly appreciated. So here I am back at the store on day 2, and I'm working on listing some stuff. trying to get the back room cleaned up again. If you notice, that table's kind of filtering its way down. This is a really cool little saddle that I purchased the other day. It came in and gave like $5 for it, and I think it'll sell pretty well for me. But that's a tote that I've got to take to the I've got to work through that tote, list it, get pictures of it. This tote's going to the booth, and I've got a couple more totes here. This is stuff that I've already taken pictures of to list, and this is Christmas stuff that is going to go to the booth as well. So I'm going to work through all of this stuff. I've got this really awesome little scale here that I picked up the other day too. Going to look it up, see if it needs to be listed or if it needs to go to the sales floor here at the store. Okay, so I have a viewer question here. It's from Grant. It says, "Great video. Thank you. I have a new booth and I'm going to start eBay selling as well. My question is, how do you decide what goes in the store and what goes on eBay? Do you have a certain dollar amount that decides that? Are you choosing the higher dollar collectible item for eBay? Thank you." Pretty much the store is the thing that I feed the least, other than the antique booth. The antique booth is probably the bottom of the list right now, but I always feed eBay number one. For us, eBay is the main part of our business. We have over 1,300 items in our inventory on eBay, and we try to sell merchandise as quickly as possible. The store, typically, if I was going to list these items on eBay, this one here actually fits the category of an antique store. This is actually a 1920s giant pencil sharpener. It's really cool. It would sell really good in the store, but it would also sell really good on eBay. So typically what I do is I'll take an item like this and I will put it in the store and it'll set out there, and I kind of use my store as my death pile. I'll put some stuff out there so that I have some decent, interesting stuff to go out into the store so that when people come in, they have something to look at. And then what I do is I will then list stuff like this on eBay, because obviously it's good eBay items and it's going to go on eBay and it's going to sell really quick. The antique booth is stuff that I have over here, like this lamp that's partially here, the Indian doll, the crystal. Now, depending on how your structure is set up, you may want to put stuff in your booth that is a little bit lower priced. And for me, that's what works well for me. $10 and under is the thing for my antique booth, and then I pepper it with some $30 and $40 items. That typically makes for a really good month. I do the same thing out there in my store, as I have a lot of cheaper items, a lot of items that are less expensive, and then I've peppered it with some really nice stuff. And then on eBay, I will always list like the electronics, the vintage Christmas stuff. This will probably eventually be listed to eBay. In fact, it might not even make it to the store because this is a really good seller, and it will eventually go on eBay because that's what feeds my family. eBay's number one, always number one. eBay is way above even the store right now. eBay, I make about $4,000 or $5,000 a month. Somebody's calling me. Don't need to talk to you. eBay feeds my family. We do about $4,000 or $5,000 a month. The store, we're doing about $1,500 a month. In the antique booth, we're only doing about $300-400 a month right now. So, in the future, I hope the store can start competing with eBay on some level. Right now, it's not. I don't know if that answers your question, Grant, but how I determine is the type of item it is. If it's antique, it'll either go into the store or it'll go on eBay. Depends on how big it is. If it's something little, easy to ship, it'll probably go on eBay. If it's something big and weighs a bunch, it'll go out to the antique store. It also depends on what people in my area are buying. I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm getting a pretty good idea of what they want to come in and what they want to pick up and what they take out with them. More home decor type items, more knick-knacky stuff. eBay is really good for stuff like pencil sharpeners, electronics, other really cool, interesting, odd, high-end antiques. They'll sell quick because there's major buyers out there looking at eBay, constantly trying to find items to take to places like Texas to export overseas. There's a lot to this. I could do a whole video on just this question. I hope I didn't ramble too much, Grant. I hope this answers your question. If anyone else has any questions, be sure to write them down below and I will address them in future videos. So I've got my guy Keith back in the store today, and he took my paper holder and he took it home and he built a mount for me. And we're going to put it right here on the register. He's going to drill some holes in there for me because if I do this, I just know that I would mess it up. He's the professional. So this thing is awesome. I paid $5 for it at the antiques, or at the Victorian estate sale the other day. And when we get it done, I will show you how it works. So we got the holes drilled in here. Keith is the man, so we're gonna go around and we're gonna show you guys how this thing works. It works really cool. People bring stuff up here on the register and we need to package it. It's just really hard to try to pull paper out from underneath, and this will make my life a whole lot easier trying to get people's breakables not so breakable. Okay guys, I had a slight interruption. We got a little bit busy there for a second, but this is the finished product. This is the paper roll dispenser that we had put up. It's antique. I picked it up at the estate sale, the Victorian estate sale. If you've not yet watched that video, it's really good. But this is the roll that we got. You take your paper and you pull out just what you need as soon as I find the edge here. And you pull out a little piece of it here, and then you just pull up. And there you go. That's how cool that is. And you can wrap your little doohickeys up in it. That way people's stuff do not get broke. This is a beautiful print. This was actually here in the store when we purchased the store. It's got these little gold little like flowers or snowflakes on it. So I love it. I've got to find more of this paper. I've got to get out there and look. If anyone's owned a store before and you know a good place to buy supplies like this, let me know down below. That'd be great. Okay, so I picked up this little chicken toy here, and it was missing the string that went back and forth between the two chickens. And if you notice, if you pull on this stick and you pull on this stick and you pull them away from each other, they fight. They fight over what looks like a worm. It's absolutely awesome. I love it. I'm going to put it in the store, and hopefully somebody else loves it as much as I do. I mean, how could you not love that? Come on, guys. How could you not? So the final project for this evening will be me finishing up this little piece of bare wood right here. I've decided that I'm going to go with this apple barrel paint. It's black, and we're going to paint this black to kind of match the rest of the desk. I've got my corners painted off, and I'm going to do the top and the front, and then I'll go around and put some tape on the back side, finish that off, and this project will be ready to dry overnight, and hopefully it'll be dry in the morning time. It should be. No ifs, ands, or buts. It'll be dry. Okay, so this is it. All painted up. Looks really good. I have a friend that does stenciling, and she does chalk paint stenciling. I might have her come in and maybe figure out what we can put right here, what kind of stencil she has. Put that on there, make it look awesome, make it say something really cool, and we will be done. We'll have our wrapping station all set up. This is so awesome. I know it sounds crazy, but ever since I was a little boy, I wanted to have my own antique store. And ever since I seen one of these in a little town in Mississippi, I was at a little store down there, went down there for a funeral, and seen one of these on a counter of a store, and I loved it. I don't know what it is about it, but I love it. Here is a lot of records that came in. I paid $5 for this lot of records. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know if you think I got a good deal on them. I got this Star Wars original soundtrack. I got this Stars of the Grand Ole Opry, which is really cool because it actually comes with an original piece of the Grand Ole Opry curtain from the original Grand Ole Opry. The King, Johnny Cash, and the Queen, Tammy Wynette. Neat little box set. The Funniest Hours on the Radio, comedy. Here is, this is the Rolling Stones, which is kind of cool. Here is John Lennon and Yoko Ono, kind of cool. Here is some more, a gatefold Rolling Stones, 1964 to 1971. That's a really cool album there. Here is Tron. Looks like it was bought at Goodwill for like 50 cents at some point. Here is another Rolling Stones. Still Life, 1981. That's crazy. He smokes and he's still alive. That dude's going to live forever. And finally, we have the Rolling Stones Let It Bleed. I got $5 in it. Do you think I got a good deal? If so, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate it.
I like everything about you.